Welcome to the Nana Radio Experience.
Let's get this started. I recently tried to crowdsource what to talk about on my podcast, and that did not go so well. Not only did I get trolled on Twitter, I also had absolutely no responses on Facebook Live. And I tried to do it live. I think a better way would have been to kind of at least announce in advance that I was going to be live on these platforms at this time, and probably then have taken it from there. And I'm sure people would have had questions and suggestions then. Most of the suggestions and questions I got were of subjects that I've already covered on my podcast. I know podcasting is still not a big thing in India, so a lot of people have probably not been listening to the podcast that I've been doing. But I have answered and addressed a lot of subjects related to blogging mostly on the podcast already. My podcast is called the Nana Radio Experience. It is there. You can search for the Nana Radio Experience, or you can even search for Nana Podcast on Google. And I have done, this is going to be the 56th episode in terms of the title, but I have recorded more episodes and I've classified them as, there was a 39A, for example. I've talked about a lot of blogging subjects, and but I did get some suggestions. As usual, there's a note card. One of the first things that I got asked, and I don't think I have addressed earlier, is the question of fake followers. Someone wanted to know, how do people even get fake followers, and if there is a way to find out if someone has fake following on various platforms. So fake followers are, bots mostly, or so there was this story someone did where they went to a mobile phone farm, which basically means that there is this one guy or a couple of three people who have a set up somewhere where they've got thousands of mobile phones that are plugged into one or two laptop machines, and the basic what they're basically doing is they're giving fake likes and fake following to people who buy these. You can buy fake followers. If you didn't know this, if you were living under a rock, you can buy fake followers for 25,000 Indian rupees. You can get about 200,000 followers. None of these are authentic followers. They're not real people. These are all bots. These are fake profiles. And a lot of people use these to pad their existing following. So for example, right now, if I have an organic following of 41,000 real people who follow me, even in that, there will be some percentage of people, for example, who are no longer active on the platform. What happens due to that is, due to the latest Instagram algorithm, if a particular percentage of my followers are not active anymore, my photos will not appear at the top of the feed in the algorithm, because they want to promote work and photographs of people who are already being followed. So it's like the rich get richer. So similarly, it's people who already have a large following keep getting more followers, or people who have more popular content keep getting more and more popular. So because of that, when the algorithm changed, I think there was a mad rush where even genuine people who didn't have fake following thought that there was no other way to keep up with the rest of the Instagram stars, and people started buying followers. And there are lots of services that provide this. Apart from the fact that I don't think it's a cool thing to do, you're not really providing any value to the brand, because your profile might show that you have, for example, 500,000 followers. When a client works with you, they will realize that the last person they worked with, who probably had 40,000 followers, they probably got a better response on that assignment than when they work with someone who has 500,000 followers. So obviously the client will, burn their fingers a couple of times before they realize what is happening. Unfortunately, there really is no way to tell who has fake followers and how many fake followers they have. But I had tested this, where I bought 50 fake followers to see what kind of profiles were these, and if there was a way to, figure out what a fake follower looks like. And all these profiles, which by the way went away within 24 hours. So I got 50 fake followers and I lost 50 fake followers literally in 24 hours. They all had profile photos of actual people, and they had about 4 to 5 posts on their Insta, and that was it. And I think usually that's a good way to tell if a person who has just followed you is a bot or if it's a fake follower, etc. Some of them can actually look quite genuine and can fall through Instagram's filters. I don't know if Instagram has any filters. So again, I think Instagram constantly works on cleaning out bots as much as they can. I'm not really sure if they do it on a daily basis, but I'm sure they do that because they recently shut down this service called Instagress, where people could go and buy these packages where you could auto follow and auto unfollow profiles. Yeah, I mean you can buy likes also, you can buy comments, you can buy followers and things like that. There is no formula to tell who has fake followers or not, but in general, if you look at a profile and you're like, how can this person have so many followers? It's not necessary that they're all fake followers, but you never know. I mean, it's really hard to tell. I use a service called Fohrcard, Fohrcard, and it's not paid. It's a platform where they connect influencers to brands. And on that, for me, I mean, I can check on my Instagram. It tells me how many they think are bots. So they figured out a way to use an algorithm or an API from Instagram. I'm not really sure how it works, but they figured out a way to tell you, to give you an idea of the percentage of followers that you have that are fake. But again, that data is for me. I don't think that data is available to a third party if they wanted to see how many fake followers I have. It is, I feel it is a very common practice these days, and I think it happened because Instagram changed its algorithm, and I think it also happened because, it became, the online social media became more about the platform than about the content. At the end of the day, I think if you have good work and good content, yes, it might seem that your growth is slow, but the followers that you will have will be genuine. These will be real people. People who will be like, oh, I like that product. What is she talking about? I've never heard about this brand. Let me go check it out. Stuff like that. So it's slow, sure. I mean, I definitely feel that, oh my God, there are all these new profiles that have come out, and how come I have such few followers? I've been on this platform for so long, and I deserve more. And why is this happening, etc., etc. Which is FOMO, fear of missing out. Remember, I've talked about it in a previous podcast. But it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If your clients or brands are coming to you and saying that, hey, Naina, you have only 41,000 followers. Those other girls have so many followers, and you charge like 10 times what they charge. Why is that? And how can you justify it? First of all, I don't need to justify anything. If you're interested in working with me, you've probably come to me because you like my work, hopefully. And if you have already worked with me once and you come back to me again, clearly you had found value working with me the first time. So I'm honestly not interested in sitting and justifying why I charge what I charge. I've been around for a while. I say no to a lot of work. There needs to be a brand fit. And while I feel that, I deserve 500,000 followers, I don't think it works like that. It's especially, I'm like an independent media house, for example. So I will have a dedicated niche audience, which by nature of today's attention spans and people's interests will be small. I am not a Bollywood celebrity. I am not a pop star in the music industry. So my following or my audience is never going to be in the millions. I don't think that's ever going to happen unless, my work gets endorsed by one of those people. Which if it happens, well, fuck yeah, do it. Please somebody do that. But I don't think getting or buying fake followers on any platform makes any sense whatsoever. It's like paisa pakad ke jala do. Literally paisa aise cash pakdo aur usko jala do lighter se. That is what you're doing. Because tomorrow Instagram will turn around and say, okay, we're doing a cleanup, and you might have paid 25,000, 50,000 to buy all those followers. It'll be gone overnight. And I don't think that will look very nice. I don't think anybody is sitting around and looking here, acha, Naina overnight lost so many followers, so she had so many fake followers. I really don't think anyone has the time to do that for anybody. But, a client might say that, oh, we worked with you earlier, you had so many followers, now you only have half of those. So what happened? And it doesn't look nice, I think, in the longer run. People might not even come and say that, Arey, you lost so many followers, kya hua? They might just make their own judgments, which anyways people keep doing all the time. I think it's not a good professional strategy in the long run, no matter how hard it is to resist. Every day I tell myself, come on Naina, you can do it, just buy some followers, yeah. But like, nahi hota yaar, bahut koshish kar liye. Like, I tried it, but it makes no sense. And anyway, you lost the followers by the end of the day. So I was like, this is a total waste of money. I spent like $1 to do that, and I was like, oh, wasted $1. Why would you do that? And slowly you get an audience if you are doing work, if people like your work. If people are not liking your work and you're not getting, at least 1 or 2 followers every day, then you need to look at producing content that, maybe fits with what the audience wants. But that also, I would suggest that you must think of what work are you doing. Like, imagine there are no social media networks. What would you be doing then? What would inform your work? What would inform your artistic choices? What would inform you in terms of, this is the content I want to create, this is what I want to write about, this is what I want to talk about, these are the photographs I want to make. If there was no social media, what would you be doing? If you are constantly looking at, Twitter pe this does well, so let me do more of this. Instagram pe this does well, so let me do more of this. You're pandering to the platform. You're not creating your own brand there. You might also get a genuine following because of the quality of work, but it's hard to do that in the long run, I feel, because tomorrow if, the platform disappears, then what are you going to do? Tomorrow, if Instagram again changes their algorithm, for example, then what are you going to do? So I get it. I kind of understand it if you are buying fake followers. But personally, I've really tried and it doesn't sit well with me. I don't think it's a good strategy in the long run. You might one day just lose all the followers. And I think your work should independently be your work, something that you enjoy doing, you like doing, regardless of, what the response on the platform is. Which is why sometimes I complain that, all the stuff that I like that I post on Insta is like what? I get like 40 likes and that's it. And all the stuff where, I least expect people to like it, suddenly I'll have like 400 likes and I'm like, ye kidhar se aa gaye, But then if I look at those pictures which have 400 likes, yes, that is part of my work, but I'm not doing it to get likes. I'm doing that work because I kind of enjoy that work, and at the end of the day, it's for my clients. So if a client is hiring me as a photographer, they're hiring me for the kind of work they like. Now that might not get likes on Instagram, but who's paying my bills? My clients are. So I need to make them happy. I need to produce work that makes me happy. And I don't think fake following will add any value to the brand or the client. It might look good in terms of perception, but again, that's a very short-term goal, and I don't think that's a good idea. Thanks for listening.